yeah. But I also, I'm trying to remember if I was in the hate club with the old Tinker. Because even that one I didn't really mind as much either. I know some players absolutely hated playing against old Tinker. Do I think the new design is better? Not really. It's just really different. But I don't mind playing this hero. I don't mind playing against it.
It's the complete opposite of the old version, but just as suffocating and annoying.
Okay. Let me give you some counter. Let me give you some worse heroes to play against. Okay. Yeah. Broodmother.
Lion. That's true. Good.
When you're Lion, would you rather play against Tinker than Lion?
Yes.
There is something wrong with you in that case. If you think that's. All right, first blood will go Falcons' way, by the way, and so will second blood.
Yep, that is a very good start for Falcons.
How many bounties did they got?
And
they got 3 bounties.
He's going to survive thanks to that facet as well. So already a 1K lead, and we just started the game. Imagine starting the game with just a 1K lead, Cinder. And here we see the replay of Satanic dying first.
It's getting walked down. You're going to do his TV. Does any other team play carry Tide?
Definitely not as often as Falcons.
It feels like they really believe in this, but no other teams are trying to copy it, really. Not very much, anyway. A player that comes to mind that I remember seeing run this was Ame, but I don't think he's been playing it for quite a while since that particular game. And I believe he was picked in that game because there was a Brood in the enemy team. But Falcons just run it even when it doesn't know its matchup, which I find to be really interesting that they rate it that high.
I mean, they can mix and match the 1, 2, and 3 with all 3 of these heroes, though, right?
Yeah, but you would just think there's some overlap. The panelists talking about this as well, right? You're picking Tide with Timber Bristle. It's triple melee. It's, yeah, sure, Timber is, well, it's triple strength as well, right? So you're kind of pigeonholing yourself into an archetype of 3 cores that you would think are countered by similar heroes. They were talking about, like, Ursa. I think OD would have been insane, but I think maybe that got banned.
You know who would have been a cool hero if it still existed in Dota? Is Axe. God tier.
Yeah, that hero is not.
I mean, Kraken Shell doesn't even work against Berserker's Call. So, pretty hype stuff for Axe fans out there. That means that Axe will be buffed in this next patch. Surely.
Yeah, I'm an Axe enjoyer. I've always liked the hero, but I have to admit, I've barely picked it for half a year. Because
wow, that was an ass. Oh, you missed it, huh?
Oh. Can we see it again? Can we get a replay?
Cinder and missed it.
You replay it if it was a good ass. Otherwise, you can keep it.
There it is.
Oh, I said if it's good.
Hey, baboon. That's just how they look, Cinder, and don't judge.
All right, we need some eye bleach now. Show us a good ass. 9 ass.
Yeah, this could go off the rails really quickly. Pauses, of course, are our specialty. That's why you come. That's why we're hired.
That's right.
They make sure that they put a certain amount of, or we ensure that there's a certain amount of pauses per cast for us.
Which team is it that always started with a pause? It was Tundra, right? The last tournament we cast, 33 pause every game in the beginning.
Do you know why?
I think it was because of light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lights are his counter, apparently. Yeah. So if you come to an event with Tundra, just bring a flashlight, and you're set.
Pick Coddle against 33.
He's going to pause constantly.
Oh.
So coming into this matchup, who would you, like, without the lineups? I know Falcons have been faltering a bit, but do you still have faith?
Oh, I think they're still a great team. I think they could easily take top 3 at any tournament they play in.
Yeah, but in this series...
I mean, against PARIVISION, you saw the match history in the pregame. Definitely heavily favoring PARIVISION overall. I do also consider them a favorites, and I think their playstyle is one of the tougher ones for Falcons to crack, but I would never put these 2 teams against each other and say one is like a 2-to-1 favorite, for example. I don't think there's enough of an edge among this top. Oh, that was another good ass right there.
Pretty sure those were eyes, not to be confused with other.
We looked in different places on the image.
Always look somebody in their eyes, Cinder, when you're talking to them. All right.
Well, it's hard if they're looking the other way.
Yeah, that's true. DM will be playing the Darkseer in this game, and in terms of It doesn't really have any good illusions to make later in the game. I mean, how much do you care about that kind of stuff? Is it just the laning stage that you care mostly about and then back into whatever you have at your disposal?
I would say the most important things for Darkseer is, in order, the most important thing is getting level 5. And then the second most important is, I mean, you see some teams deliberately picking it specifically against or with Terrorblade because the wall illusions can be super powerful. There's no doubt about that against heroes like TB and Morph. But I will say, for the most part, as an average assessment, getting level 5 and then having heroes that play around Vacuum in some capacity would be my preference, more so than the wall. Because I think the wall is more contextual. Whereas this hero sometimes gets first picked, right? And then you don't even know what matchups you have yet.
Yeah.
So, and this game you have a bit of both, right? I think you can relatively easily get to your level 5 when you're playing with Tinker here. You can just spam out the lane. You put March, you put Ion Shells, and you just kill all the creeps and go pull. And for vacuum combos, you have Avalanche and you have Ice Path. So it's quite solid. I think this looks like a good Darkseer game. And on top of all of that, triple melee enemy core. There's generally gonna be heroes stacked on top of each other to some extent. Okay, a little bit of
Yeah, there's the eyes of the same creature's ass that we looked at previously.
Oh, wait, no.
The baboon, there you go. Thank you. Actually looks kind of like a pig in that perspective.
Oh, now I feel better.
And this is one of the joys, of course, of casting or watching even Falcons, is there's always going to be some smack talk.
yeah.
And of course, 9 Class is not afraid to talk it up as well, Cinder. He's a big trash talker.
I'll say it's generally not Crit participating in the trash talk so much, but he seems to have a bone to pick with PARIVISION's pausing in tournaments. And PARIVISION were like, you paused 3 times for lag? And he's like, yeah, when you pause 20 times for headsets in tournaments.
That's right.
I think Crit has played against PARIVISION. He's just tired of not playing against PARIVISION when he's playing against PARIVISION.
Yeah, if you can get a rise at a Crit, you know you've done something really.
He's a pretty calm guy
awful.
for the most part.
So Malrine playing the mid Timber Saw.
That's an easy matchup.
Yeah, against no one on the Tony.
I'm as surprised
how
as the
bad will
panel
it
are that PARIVISION opted to do this. They must really think Tinker is going to carry when they choose to do this over giving no one a better matchup when he knows these triple cores that he's facing. There were multiple options for no one. They talked about Ursa as a safe laner and then putting... then you would still put the tiny mid, I guess. But there were... I think OD was banned, but maybe Sniper was available, for example.
No, he's 10 CS behind right now.
No, it's not going to get better.
Yeah.
When Timber hits 6, this lane is a... I'm not going to say it's unplayable for Tiny, but it gets pretty damn bad.
Yeah, even trying to get last hits with the tree can be difficult with the stat stealing of Whirling Death.
Yeah. Malrine is a... potentially the single best player in the world at this hero in mid. So he's going to know the limits very well. Bullying no one to a maximal extent
So
here.
when you're going up against a Tinker, what's the game plan generally?
So
Like, at what level do you fear the Tinker?
it depends. Are we talking about this style of Tinker, like 9 class specifically, or just Tinker in general?
Mar.
I am Mars.
You have to hold that thought. He is dead. Satanic takes a lot of damage. Has to be a bit careful. Crit, of course, with his power shot can outright kill people, kind of like an AA blast of sorts.
Gonna have to.
He's
ferry
gonna
here.
tick out. Okay.
So I would say against Tinker, it very much depends who the player is. I don't think the solutions for the hero are the same at all, based on. So I would, for example, let's say it was an Insania Tinker. The #1 solution is Nullifier, because the defensive position 5 Tinker, you just want to dispel all the garbage, right?
Yeah.
9 class is going to be playing probably, we're assuming, the Kaya Ags Blink build with Aetherlens. I think in that case, having a way of getting on top of Tinker and killing him is the #1 counter rather than removing his shields. The problem is Falcons don't really have heroes that do that, which is why the Tinker was probably the overall last pick here for PARIVISION, and accepting what you're seeing on your screens right now to be the cost of that. Can't say I love that so far.
So when you say get on top, you mean consistently, not like a Blink Ravage, because that's a one You're just blowing everything at once. Right?
Yeah, but you're not even guaranteed to kill him. That's the problem, right? So, no, classic counters would be heroes that carry heroes that buy Blink Abyssal or Hex.
Sticking around a little bit too long. Malrine dominating already in this game. No one 2 levels behind. I'll make it 1.
This is still a complete slaughter in the mid. He's doubling him on CS against Tiny. That hero does not lose lane this hard.
Like you said, for PARIVISION, this was expected, though, right? Like, you have to know that this is a very real possibility. Satanic, the stacks from Amar does have to be a bit careful. Of course, the high armor will help him out against this matchup.
Maybe you didn't expect it to go this poorly, right? I think it's one thing that you're like, no one will say, yeah, I can play, guys. I'm not going to win this lane, but the Tinker is going to carry, and it's fine. I don't think... If no one knew he would be 0-2 minute 7 and have 30 CS to the 50 of Timber, I'm not sure they would have made the same choice. Because, I mean, there are maybe a couple of things in this game that did not go according to plan, and that's just going to make it look way worse. Malrine has 3 kills, right? Like, you could not have anticipated that this was going to happen. So it's going to look worse than the theory. But that's how a subset of the games will go. They'll get the first blood sometimes on your carry.
Sure. I mean, the beginning of the game with the first blood and getting the 2 first kills.
It makes a massive difference.
It does. So Satanic and the cover of his tier 1. I'm not sure if that's going to save him. That's a lot of pure damage. Deleted. Amar actually gets the last hit there. As both 9 class and Ducalis have to try and retreat.
Not the best chakram.
Looks like they'll get out just fine.
Malrine's going to be a big problem this game for PARIVISION. I think we already had 1 game today with a Deathless Timber. This don't want to get ahead of myself too early here, but this could be another game where Timber just totally pops off. This kind of start, 9 class is going to die here as well. Oh, yeah. Assassinated by the kill shot. And I haven't really mentioned this yet, but Falcons have an insane lineup for Arcane Aura. All the heroes really benefit from this extra little bit from the Crystal Maiden. It allows Ty to perhaps skip a mana item and farm faster, or if he has both, he can literally just spam Anchor off cooldown. Snaking is level 6, by the way. And clips him!
Shackle hits. DM doesn't have Surge for a long time. We'll use the wall as a slow, and that'll be enough.
Snake's in trouble now, actually.
He's getting a little bit of barrier thanks to his facet, but gets vacuumed back. Illusions are taken out by Crit. Meanwhile, Satanic double teamed at the moment. There's the Ravage, and there's the death. My goodness, Crit will be the effective trade across the map, but that is not nearly the same. Falcons will take it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So 7-2 lead for Falcons. Only a 2K net worth lead at the moment. I say only. Feels like it could be a lot worse. Snake King running into DM a bit here. So mech online for the Darkseer.
Yeah, not doing any Overlord or Dominator build, as we've seen popularized a bit after the changes. We saw a player like 33 sometimes go Helm with the Dom because you can't Midas it, you can't one-shot it, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Has the read that the teamfight items will be more important. And he might put it to use immediately. Trying to dive the top tier 1 here.
Yeah,
have a toss.
Nice avalanche onto 2. Ice path to follow, though, as no one. He's in no man's land, but the Surge will get him out of dodge. No casualties yet. Falcons relatively low. We'll have to back away as well. And we've seen no one on this Tiny, even though he got off to a rough start. We've seen him come back with a vengeance if given a little bit of space. Of course, I feel like that Blink Dagger, extremely important. He's very, very far away from it right now.
Yeah.
Of course, the Surge is kind of like, you know, a baby version for the time being that he can try to use.
Yeah, it's level 1, though. Level 1 Surge has a very long cooldown. So if you do Surge in your Tiny, surely not surging anyone out after. The 24-second cooldown level 1. This spell has been nerfed a lot over the years. It's very noticeable. And it's why players a lot of the time, even in good vacuum games, will still go 1-4-4, just because each point of Surge makes the spell like almost twice as good, right? Like it goes from... I'm hard-pressed to find spells in Dota that scale better than Surge does. From level 1 to 4, it gets double the duration and a third of the cooldown. That's kind of crazy, right? But it's just level 1 Surge was just such an incredible ability that they just nerfed it so much over time. Snaking will get a Dragon Toss on his head.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
And yeah. Unlike in Crownfall, Crystal Maiden does not win at that kind of Dragon Chess.
I had my wife do that for me, so I actually barely understand that reference. It is really difficult.
Yeah.
The timer is just it's too much for my heart, you know?
Yeah, match 3 is not a game for everyone, Shannon. You gotta be able to see shapes and sizes.
Yeah, I struggle with that.
Yeah, we talked about your education earlier last series.
He's gonna be found out as the Blade Mail, but he will tick away nonetheless.
A couple of good picks here for PARIVISION to stabilize this game a bit. It was starting to look very solid for Falcons, but these picks here and there, good rotations, the movement from playing the Tiny and Jakiro together now in tandem for a couple of kills is helping out a lot, and they might even get this bottom tier 1 Satanic gonna pop the Metamorphosis. I think Falcons just not looking to defend at all. They're trying to get the trade from mid. Will they get it though? There is Glyph for both teams. And nobody's gonna use one. Well, okay, that was uneventful. Fair enough. Oh, there it is. As the tower is falling. Kind of pointless, but hey.
Unless, Vlad's is there for Skeeter. Needs to be delivered. Actually missing the recipe, isn't he?
DM is rushing Greaves. I did not expect him to do that. I think the early mech is fine, but I thought he might go a different route after
Dispel
the mech.
Frostbite, pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely solid. You can dispel goo stacks on yourself as well, but Darkseer is just one of those heroes that could buy, in theory, almost anything. So if you're valuing rushed Greaves first, that tells you something about what he feels the threat of the game is. It also shows you it's not a good pipe game, right? That's why he's probably not even considering that. Like, Maiden's damage it's nice to have against, but Timbersaw is just pure, so pipe does nothing. Bristleback's physical, the pipe does nothing. So yeah, he's probably not getting a pipe at all, but that's where sometimes Darkseers can think outside the box a little bit and maybe go early Blink Dagger or get an Ags if you think, but we established the illusions aren't good, so probably that path wasn't that interesting either. And he is going Blink, but he wanted the Greaves first.
Not that he would go this early, but this is a really good Shiva's game.
Oh, he absolutely could have done that too. I wouldn't have minded that at all. I would have actually liked to see that. Just mech into Shiva's straight up.
I assume he will eventually get it. It's just looking too good this
without a doubt. It is very, very good this game. Wisdom time. Nobody's there. Instead, we might get a fight with a really, really nice rune here for Malrine. He's about to hit level 12, gets the Arcane. He has an amp damage rune running still. If he were to fight anyone right now, he would be a total boss, but that's where Tinker comes in and places the marches. And for all the carry Tinker we talked it up, so far 9 class has a Holy Locket.
Okay.
So he is not at all going the aggressive route, which further brings into question, why did they pick this hero then in this slot with all the info that they had? There's some questions to be answered.
Oh, comfort picks.
Locket Force Staff is the
Shackle
current
not
plan.
going to connect to Skeeter. Oh, they can actually find the Darkseer. That is a lot of damage. Ravage is placed, and DM still getting bursted, able to get to the outskirts of the other side of the trees, healing up thanks to the neutral. He's fine, actually, as Malrine using that Arcane rune, but he's in a bit of trouble. Satanic doing a ton of damage. 9 class surrounded with his own illusions from the Terrorblade, saving him. They're not going to pursue any further, and Skeeter left all alone. And this is just an eventuality for the death of the Tide. Watermelon Man goes down. 2 dead for Falcons, and PARIVISION lose nobody.
Yeah. They were so close to killing the Darkseer twice over, but DM just barely staying afloat with the Wand, with the Greaves, with the Polywalk Charm. Just lacking the last 5 to 10%. And it sucks extra bad when you pop the Ravage for that kill. Because then when the follow-up fight starts developing, PARIVISION have so much freedom knowing that they don't need to worry about the Ravage.
I mean, you saw the Greaves Cinderin.
Yeah, they were good there. No doubt about it.
That extra HP regen you get, pretty solid. Mar and company, they want to fight this. Tormentor is really low. It's going to go to 9 class, but they take a lot of damage as a result. Healing up a decent amount. A lot of damage coming from Malrine, but not able to finish the job. They TP out. Ducala stuck inside the corner. Chakram will finish him off. As Satanic, he has to be careful. Gets off the Sunder onto a Mar. As no one gets a beautiful avalanche onto 2, but he is surrounded by members of Falcons. Deleted by Malrine. have to look at the fight recap for that, because with the Tormentor, which I don't think is... Does that actually... I don't think it goes into that formula for the fight recap.
I don't think it does either. I mean, this is still... oh, well, it definitely does not. This is still a win for PARIVISION. Without a doubt, getting that... Getting the Warp Flare here. So that is actually really nice against Bristleback. In particular, that hero just wants to stick on top of targets and just keep running in, and you can just keep pushing him away. Just be annoying on this support Tinker.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know, there was no bad outcome. The Jakiro one is also great when you have 4 points in Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost and Ducalis, so both of them are great. But I think more often than not, you would probably rather have the Jakiro one, but Warp Flare is very nice this game. It's also good against Timber, it's good against Tide, Carry. So he needs to, you know... These heroes need to run it, Pete.
Yeah.
You just keep displacing them.
You actually, you think they'd rather have Jakiros? I don't know about that.
No, I'm saying in this particular game, maybe not. I think generally speaking, you would rather have the Jakiro one in Pro Dota, because the trending build has been to max Liquid Fire at level 7 and 8. So if you get that early shard, it's just such an insane power spike to have level 4 Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost minute 15. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Warp Flare is just amazing here, so there was no bad results for PARIVISION. Even game by the numbers. The question now is, we had our thoughts about what the Tinker was going to do, and now that that is not the case, maybe potential damage issues down the stretch for PARIVISION.
Can he survive this? He's going to activate his Kraken. Okay, DM is actually going to be applied some pressure as well on the other side of the map. Nice blocking from No One and company. Looks like this will be the inevitable death here for Skeeter on the Tide. Good pick off for PARIVISION again.
DM bought the shard too, by the way. Seen that become more popular. Felt like since its implementation, it almost never got bought in Pro Dota, and then in the last couple of months, it has really become a lot more of an interesting purchase. Can't tell you exactly why.
Please try.
Because I genuinely still find the traditional Darkseer builds to be so strong, like the Shivas you talked about, the Dagger, the Auras. But more often than not, we see people opting for these. Maybe in a game like this where you have 2 melee cores, you just think the value of the slow is really good. Oh, that's an instant freezing field on Roche.
Snake King does this all the time.
Yep.
He knows he's not getting it off in a fight anyway.
This is a sneaky one. This is not an obvious read at all for Pari, so this is just going to go Falcons' way. A nice play call.
It looks like it will go uncontested.
And this will be a blink for Skitter as well, the kill gold.
Mar will claim it.
Free enough. If he wants to buy it. He hasn't bought it yet. I wonder if Skitter is considering other options.
Warp Flare is so stupid. 9 class. Gonna get surged. He's fine. Gonna cover his machines.
Okay, he will go Axe now, by the way. So you can take
so it's
9
some
class
support.
out of the... Yeah, okay, never mind. You can't. Whatever. Yes?
What?
Yes, Suns fan?
What were you saying?
I was going to make it, you can take the line out of the jungle, but not the jungle out of the line, or whatever, how the saying goes. Something like that. Okay. I was trying to make one with 9 class. It didn't really work.
Rest in peace. Terrible joke from Cinderant.
Yeah. No one will ever get to see the light. It's unfortunate, because I don't have many of those, so
Gator.
I would like to hear a bad one.
I believe he does have his blink, and they're going to find DM.
Oh, he just surged.
He gets off the Greaves. To cover the tier 2. And
that's
a really nice wall.
Wow, very nice. All 4.
Wow, that is
okay.
A very unexpected turn of events, I have to say. I thought he was mega dead. I mean, this is going to be an important game for Skeeter to get the shard, of course.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, mission
Looks
failed.
like he actually is going for that next. Yeah, picture perfect wall.
Really nice.
Yeah, that in top of the shard that you talked about. That's a lot of slow. 3 melee heroes. Of course, Timber has a lot of mobility. As top lane, a Macro Pyre is going to be used just for Snake King. He is donezo.
baked.
TP's coming in, though. Skeeter available to fight. Tier 2 tower in peril now. No one ready to counter-initiate if need be. But the fortifications popped, and with that, PARIVISION will back away.
Can't help but feel like PARIVISION's just step-by-step getting toward their game plan goal, right, with this Tinker pick. So he went for the early utility items to assist his team in this phase of the game. Maybe the logic was, we think this is where Falcons are going to try to punish our greed right now. So I'm going to buy the early utility items that bridge that gap, and then once we've overcome that hurdle, I can go for my greedier build after. So he's gone Locket, Force Staff, and now he's going Ags. And at this point, it just seems like an inevitability that 9 class is going to get stacked. So what is Falcon's solution here? We mentioned, you know, a lot of the time getting on top of Tinker and bursting him is the way to go. That seems kind of difficult. Buying multiple Dispels against Ags Laser could be a thing. Like, you can get Lotus Orbs, BKBs, obviously.
Radiant's top tower
But there are plenty of problems that PARIVISION are presenting down the line.
And at what point do they get a Silver Edge?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, true. Both Bristle and Tide.
And to some degree, Timber, if you get them before they react. I mean, that's kind of niche, but is there... Okay, this is going to sound... This is maybe previous level tech Cinderin, but it could be next level, depending on perspective.
Tinker Conda.
You buy multiple... Sorry, you buy. You... Oh, have to hold that thought. Crit. Ice Path is going to hit him. Macropyre as well. He's going to be tossed back. And Avalanche ensures that he will eventually tick out.
I got off the... Oh.
But maybe part of the strategy, Cinder, if you get more than one hero that can be broken, you can't break all of them. You have to choose one, you see. It's like the Lincoln's dilemma.
The good old Doom counter of picking 3 cores that you don't want to Doom.
That's right.
Or that you do want to Doom.
That's sure. That's the Aghanim Scepter from Malrine, keeping him tanky. Warp Flare roots him in place, and he's dead. 50 seconds on the deck, and this is with an Aegis on a Mar that's not really going to be used, it feels like. He TP's out just in time. Yeah, this Aegis, it feels like, actually, yeah, they've lost. They've lost money since they picked up the Aegis.
It just seems very difficult for Falcons lineup to make anything happen. The only catch they have is Frostbite or Blink Tide Anchor. But speaking of Anchor, as long as the fight is just in a controlled setting, I think PARIVISION just has so much counterplay. Tinker with the saves, Defense Matrix, Locket, and March. You've got Greaves. And you have this insane threat of the Wombo combo whenever Falcons start stacking their heroes. Honestly, when I look at this on a strategical level, I just feel like they're a little bit out-strategized in general, and they need to compensate for that with really good laning and then strong mid-game plays. And they did the laning part right. Malrine was enormous, remember? He looked like he was going to take over the game, and I really thought so too. But nothing happened since then.
Look at his power play.
What a power play, boys. Minus 5k gold.
I don't know if I've seen that.
I don't think power play is the word for this. PARIVISION power play by giving away agent.
Yeah, apparently.
It's more like it. Now, PARIVISION's heroes will be that little bit tankier. DM with the 25 talent, or excuse me, 15 talent. 250 max HP on Ion Shell. It's a good one. Used to be even better. I think it used to give 400. It was insane. The first version of that talent was bananas.
Bananas.
Or 350 or 400. It's crazy.
Smoke from Falcons won't connect on anything. We should be getting close to the next Tormy. That would be we should have put that on the list for things that we'd like added to the next patch is Tormy time.
Oh yeah, for spectators, the timing of when Observer or
right above Roche.
Actually,
I guess Roche should be on top still.
And also fix the Roche so that you can tell when it spawns as Observer.
Yeah, we can't read
down
analog clocks, please. Thank you.
I mean, we can, but we can't read them perfectly because there's no dials on it.
That's right.
So, or there's no numbers on it, rather.
Skeeter and company.
Tormentum!
They will get the Tormy. 9 class gets his Aghanim Scepter, though. And Malrine will get the Flamethrower. I'm guessing the shard is on Skeeter now, right?
Yeah, he's had it for a while. He just hasn't used it a single time, which feels really bad because then you could have bought something else. This does absolutely nothing for you if you're not fighting. It's just dead gold.
I'm going to say it does nothing for you if you don't use it, which I guess is effectively the same thing.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
No one in company, they're posturing as if they have
Radiant's bottom
the
tower
Roche
is under attack.
advantage.
Oh, they're even
I feel
popping
like
meta.
we don't see this all too often. They're going to poke at the high ground.
Structure.
They're going to force out fortification.
Terrorblade with the 860 attack range.
They see Falcons bottom trying to take out their tier 2.
It actually makes such a big difference to have the vast serrated Shiv here. Like if you look at this 110 extra range, you're standing so much safer while sieging. You can
They
even
get the
stand
tier
there on the
3.
stairs.
My. Okay, Skeeter jumps in, gets off one anchor smash to get some damage mitigation onto Satanic, who will be surged away. The Illusion's doing a decent amount to this range barracks. It looks like the defense will be mounted, though, successfully for Falcons. But still, PARIVISION, they get the tower. They do have to be careful, though, because if Falcons find a connection, they're going to be without the meta.
All right, Shannon, which 15 talent is Tinker going to take? Laser damage or shield?
Laser
Defense
damage.
matrix.
He has Ags now.
He has not chosen yet. He's having the same dilemma right now.
He is going to choose laser damage because he's a young man
Okay.
who's selfish inherently, because humans are selfish inherently anyway.
Okay. Was not expecting philosophy.
You have to learn how to not be selfish. That's like life's long goal. Of course, I have not learned that yet.
Okay.
Personally. So it takes one to know one. So he will choose the other one.
Oh, no one's in his team.
Great joke.
He hasn't chosen yet, Shannon.
Skeeter toss back. That is a watermelon though. You got to be careful. Doesn't have teammates that nearby. He has the Ravage, but he won't use it.
Awful.
But he's dead.
Oh no!
And he gets tipped for his transgressions.
Oh.
And we'll see if PARIVISION can find anything else. No one surged up.
Radiant's bottom
Snake
tower
King's going to get blocked a bit. Avalanche is there. They should be able to find him very least. So 2 for nothing. And that's Roche on the table if they want it.
I think they get Alina Rax. That was the most important spell Falcons have. But maybe they can even get both. Like, go Roche first and then straight down mid. Probably have time for it. Like, the Skater Death is one thing, but him popping the Ravage is really the final nail in the coffin on that play. Like, now you have no... There's no silver lining to that situation. That's just pretty much the worst thing that could have possibly happened was him getting caught and burning his ult. Teammates were not even close to saving him, so that just felt like a complete waste. 9 class is still not taking his talent, by the way, Shannon. I'll keep you updated.
Yep, thank you.
He...
I mean, this is obvious. He's asked his
have
team.
the skill point.
His team told him to take the other one. And he's just going to wait long enough that they forget, and then he's going to level it.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have the skill point.
Okay, thanks, Cinderin.
He's already placed 15 points. All right, now he's getting 16, Shannon. Let's see it. It is going to be...
Left.
Laser damage. You're
Come
right.
on.
There it is.
Is there any question?
Not really.
Tinker players are a different breed as well. I forgot to bring that into the equation.
Okay.
There's nothing needs to be said, though.
Tell me how you really feel about me.
Everyone knows
Say it.
whatever. Anytime you bring up Tinker, everybody has the same thought in their mind, Cinderella.
Okay.
Just pure disgust.
I have that with Brood.
All right, I have that with you as
Yep.
Timbersaw already at half HP. Malrine pops the BKB. Aghanim
on to
Scepter
9
goes
class.
off as well. They want the Tinker Stinker. Getting up to the high ground, surged up as well. The heal from the Greaves. And this is going to be a dead Timbersaw. And guess who survives? Tinker, Amar, Yules, but the Lotus is going to reflect. And try to focus somebody else for the time being as Skeeter on the outskirts of this fight being
been killed.
chased by Satanic, but it looks like no one will find the Bristleback and get the kill. That's 2 cores dead for Falcons. Aegis advantage, Satanic and company.
That is such a different fight if they Ravage, right? But again, will the target be even chosen in that case? But they could have killed Tinker there with Ravage, and then maybe they can build a fight around it, but they spend all their resources on Timber and on Bristle. They know they have to go on this Tinker. So I think the play call from Falcons to go on him in the fight is correct. The question is, was it correct to even take the fight to begin with? When you don't have Ravage, I feel like this Tide has done next to nothing in the entire game. It just has not performed the function that you want out of it. And, well,
Yeah, is he going to Ravage again?
Actually,
all alone. He is warp flared. He is ice pathed.
And
Will he hit the R button? No. Does have buyback though, but you know, that's the lane of Rack. Satanic was not with them.
funnily enough, they missed the avalanche because of warp flare. So that made the kill a little bit more complicated, but doesn't matter in the end.
That's 2 lanes. They can only go for throne though, unless they want to push out the top lane. Try to force out this eventual buyback that I'm sure is to come for Skeeter. Indeed it is. Okay, Malrine, already low HP, but gets the BKB off along with the Agnosceptor as well. The Ravage finally comes in, but not gonna have too big of an effect. A nice Thunder for Satanic, and down goes Watermelon Man. Remember, Aegis is still there for Satanic after all of this. As Amar, they will get a couple of heroes, actually 3 in fact. PARIVISION, very nice Shackle shot as Satanic, not able to get deleted by the power shot this time. Surge away. See if they can get away with that 2.
Oh, that is not a good meta.
Yeah, meta and then dies, but there's not going to be any fault from Falcons, so I don't think it's going to be punished at all. Interesting.
That's a funny situation because that is such an Amar moment. Because in this patch, at this point, most offlane Bristlebacks go for the Snot Rocket. But courtesy of having the other facet, Amar actually did a ton of damage with the back quills. And at some point as players, you kind of get used to what's meta, right? So maybe in your mind when you're fighting the Bristle there, you're perhaps not anticipating that you're going to take that much damage. I feel like to an extent, PARIVISION might have kind of killed themselves a little bit. Like Satanic was just wailing away at the Bristle's back. And he was just killing his team. But hey, they have some leeway. 2 lanes of barracks, 30 minutes in.
Yeah, they can make a few more of those mistakes if they want.
Yeah. Oh, 9class has a BKB too. Like, he's getting an item every 3 minutes, it feels like. This is. He has 4,000 more net worth than the enemy carry.
That is, wow. I did not look at the net worth in a while. And
honestly, Tide has been,
wow.
This is the most pitiful I have seen carry Tide look, I think.
Yeah.
It's just been absolutely pointless as a hero.
And they didn't even have to prioritize breaks this game. That's crazy.
No.
They just upped the pace. Tier 2 tower down, so now Megas can be achieved if they push down the top lane.
Yeah, they're wasting no time, it looks like. They know 9class can take care of the trash lanes, and you can just stay strong as 4 together. If Falcons want to kill 9class, they need to bring probably 3 or 4 heroes because you can just BKB shield TP out. And the only stuns, you have no instant stuns. You have Ravage and Shackle Shot, so he gets to react in both cases. There's no Hex. There's no stun from Fog. So he feels pretty safe doing this. Oh, he also has Ghost Scepter, by the way. So he has both defense.
It's always nice to have, I mean, 9class plays some very interesting support here. It's not that Tinker's that crazy of a pick, but he plays it differently than a lot of these other teams do. And I feel like the ceiling for that is so much higher. And the fact that PARIVISION is already, like, pretty much right off the bat, feels like they had that chemistry with this Tinker, and it's only going to improve with time.
Have a toss.
Have a toss back. Amar is melting. Oh my god.
He did so much damage, though. You see that?
It's not enough, Cinderin.
He did like 4 or 5K there.
They're going to smoke up. They have the buyback.
He did 3 times the damage they did. Or 2.5.
He has buyback. They're going to try to pounce on them here from the Falcons side. They are smoked, but hard to find an angle when you're stuck in your base. Satanic, okay, they use a 4-step aggressively into the Ravage, but Satanic is very healthy, pops the BKB. Amar gets off the buyback, and now Satanic in the midst of all of this. They take out 2 members of Falcons as Malrine trying to get back to base with the flamethrower, but it is not to be as GGs are called. And PARIVISION relatively easily take out Falcons in this game 1.
That's the fastest game of the day by 13 minutes, I think.
Predicament on our hands, Cinderin. Game number 2 between PARIVISION and Falcons. PARIVISION dumpstered Falcons in game number 1. Will this be a repeat, or have Falcons figured something out after being pummeled? Just embarrassed in this last game.
Definitely made major adjustments, right? They're doing 1 repeat pick on the side of Falcons and 0 repeat picks on the side of PARIVISION. So this is almost an entirely new lineup, all 10 heroes here, just one repeat with the CM, of course. I'm a little bit worried for Falcons, I'll be honest with you. I see the same problems that the panel does, which is, let's see if they get Ducalis. They will. This is a good start.
Yep, Disruption sets it up. Ducalis will fall, but to whose hands? It is Crit, of course, the one you wanted on, the Shadow Demon.
So here's my worry. I don't think Falcons have a single hero that's very good at killing Medusa. And maybe there's a build here where you can go Diffusal, Manta, and Abaddon or something. Like, perhaps that can work after Radiance. I don't know. And the Medusa, on top of that, has Coddle backing her up. And they have good teamfight presence with Kunkka and Bristleback with the goo. So if Falcons don't manage to get off to a good start and kind of snowball the game a bit like the panel talked about, I'm a little bit worried about 25-30 minutes in who's killing Satanic when he shows up and just starts hitting towers. Like, who's going to stop this guy? Because poking away at Medusa is a viable strategy sometimes, but it works so much worse against Coddle because it's effectively like playing with a healer on the Medusa. Every Chakra Magic, every recall is so much EHP that the amount of damage you need to propose is just not existent for the Falcons lineup. But if things go well early and they snowball, Beastmaster is one of the best heroes in all of Dota right now at running away with games. You can play relatively fast with a carry Abaddon once you're ahead. And the support duo of CM Shadow Demon, they want to take skirmishes. So see if Falcons can set up that condition for themselves.
So what you're saying is if we get to late game, PARIVISION have this on lock.
I personally heavily favor them in late game. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of an outdated way of thinking about Dota in general, being like this lineup is truly on a timer because so many heroes scale in so many different ways and you can itemize your way out of all sorts of problems, but inherently there will still be certain heroes and certain lineups that just are better late game. Medusa is one of those heroes that I tend to look at as like the ultimate late game powerhouse.
Satanic getting pretty low. I'll get the stick off though as Crit and Amar will both take a beating for their troubles. Of course, this is one way to deal with a Medusa, is early game, apply a lot of pressure before she gets out of hand. Of course, we saw the position 3 earlier today with Liquid. This time around, position 1, so do you think she'll be able to get off to a decent start?
Yeah.
Any reason to think otherwise?
I don't think so. I don't think Mars Shadow Demon is a particularly great lane against her, but they are playing to their strengths, which is that very early timing, level 2, 3, is when Mars SD can perhaps get under her skin, but if she shows up with full mana at level 3 and onward, I have a hard time seeing them truly killing her. That's where Crystal Maiden rotation could become interesting, and Abaddon, one of the easier carries to just leave alone for a little bit. That might be part of the plan here on a grander scale from Falcons with the Abaddon as a carry. Viking will easily take the Lotus. They will actually get both of them here in the side lanes for Falcons, so very nice advantage for them.
Yeah, that's one that's pretty important to take away from the Medusa, no doubt about it.
The best Lotus here in the whole game, in my opinion.
Io might disagree with you.
Yeah, I guess if Io is with Medusa. Okay. All right.
One specific instance. Lion Class taking some pressure here from Skeeter.
He doesn't have Blinding Light, and they know this.
Yeah, he looks to be dead. He will tick out to Skeeter.
Easily run down.
So playing the Abaddon. So still the tanky type of position 1, but I see this being a better game for the hero than the Tide was.
I think in general, it's just more often a better carry than Tide, right? If you think about what the heroes bring to the table. This is more stable. I think Tide carry, you need to have a very good reason. I don't think they had a very good reason last game. That's my 2 cents, anyway.
Well, Malrine, we talked about it. Falcons are going to be relying on him this game to up the tempo, as we're seeing some stacks in the Falcons triangle right now. Malrine sitting on 25-7 versus no one on the Kunkka, 20-1. So advantage Malrine for the time being.
He has Crystal Maiden Aura as well, and the Beastmaster can spam those axes that little bit extra. They keep stacking these Ancients plus Hard Camp with Crit as well. We're going to see a switcheroo here where Malrine can go and take those stacks and Crit can take mid, and they can both get 6s. Fast level 6 on Shadow Demon is really nice for the Radiant lineup to be able to stick on their target with Abaddon in any sort of fight. And of course, a farmed SD in this game will want to get his shard. He probably doesn't want to buy it as DM.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble.
He is dead.
Looks to be.
Oh, nice.
Nice steal. He was there
Wow.
for first blood, and he shows up for a little tick of damage there. As Malrine gonna get whipped after the X, just being annoyed a bit. There's no one. More stacks of the axes on you. Gotta be careful.
Oh, Crit's even stealing the enemy stacks. Under a ward, though. They do know it's happening. Here comes Bristle. Is it too late?
Oh,
Oh, they're going to lose some of this.
yeah. He does take some of them.
This is a really good start from Falcons. This is what they need in this game.
And what is Malrine opting for this game? Is this an Ags game?
Yeah. It's mid Beastmaster. What else would you buy, I guess, right? You just have to.
That's true.
The item's just too good. Likely going to get nerfed in the next patch, I would imagine. Either the Ags or the hero itself. It's been very popular in Pro Dota now for a couple months. It seems to be the... We used to have a phase where there was a bit of variety in the off lane, where people are sometimes buying Helm with a Dominator, sometimes buying Ags. I feel like it's more leaning Ags now, significantly.
And if they can protect this stack, man, Shadow Demon is the best stacker support. So crazy.
Incorrect, Shannon. The best one is Naga Siren.
I guess that's kind of true.
But
then you have to
nobody
play
plays Naga
Siren.
support, and you have to be really good at it, whereas this is a lot easier.
Yeah, Crit's not very good, obviously. So.
No, that's exactly what I was saying.
Foul is trying to leech a little bit of XP, but the gold will go the way of Falcons. And they get the D ward as well.
Radiant are scanning.
There's Crit. He'll be found out, though.
Tower is under attack.
Disruption?
X
No?
from no one.
He lets them finish it here. And the
Yeah,
boar...
the Torrent is going to be avoided as well. Crit to the high ground. Malrine just ignoring everything, and it works out for him. Because he gets everything that he wants. Crit does eventually die to no one, but obviously the cores of Falcons don't really give a shit. And the 7-minute Wisdom Shrines are upon us. Snake King very low right now, but most of the damage being applied to DM at the moment. Trying to walk away, it's not going to happen. As 9 class and Skeeter, who wins this 1v1 battle?
what do you think?
That's an easy one. Although, wait!
Dire's
Oh,
bottom
that was
tower
close, Cinderin. You almost ate your word.
No, there is no way. 9 class. Oh, no quelling blade.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, that was pretty sexy.
That was
not gonna lie. That was-
Watch him die now.
Yeah, that would be really funny. After pulling that off. Well, why are you trying to run back the same way? You just planted the tree, 9 class. It's blocked. If it blocks the one way, it also blocks the... Okay, he was just waiting there for 10 seconds for it to despawn. Maybe there was nowhere else to go. Maybe he felt like it was unsafe to go back.
Cinderin, I feel like you backseat a little too much here.
That's right.
He's really good at the video game.
Oh, he is. It's just funny to see someone AFK at the tree he planted himself. He obviously knows it's going to despawn. It's all good. Just a funny moment. Time for Rune of Power, minute 8. It will be bottom for no one, fortunately. There were 3 Falcon zeros on the top one, so he was definitely not getting that. But grab himself a nice little arcane, some faster farming with the lower cooldown on Tidebringer.
I'm a little surprised that Oracle's not played more just because of that. Being able to know when the runes are coming.
Yeah.
Or where they are going to be located.
I think the hero also has some really good matchups against specific heroes. I think if magic damage was a little more prevalent, we would see it more for Fate's Edict. But Oracle still falters in some lane matchups and can struggle in later portions of the game with finding good positioning and getting your spells off in a meaningful fashion. But I would like to see it at least sometimes, and I think it's very telling if Insania never plays it, right? Like, you would think, okay, once in a while there will be a game where he's like, oh, give me Oracle, guys, it's really good here. If he just never picks it, is it really that bad?
He knows if he doesn't pick it, then it will get buffed.
The TI strat.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can respect that.
Or the Riyadh strat.
Yep.
Surely there's going to be a big patch before that.
And Oracle doesn't even need to get buffed. You just need other supports to get nerfed, right? And Oracle will get better.
This'll come in handy.
Probably true.
I personally think it's a little undervalued. I do think it has a place in some games.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, Polywog seems to be a pretty popular choice right now as a tier 1.
After it got 0 mana cost, it's actually quite good.
See a disruption. It's going to set up Amar's spear. Oh! The whoopee cushion play from Ducalis.
The whoopsie into the whoopee. You can time that spear so he can't whoopee cushion. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's true. Right on top of it.
Honestly, Amar usually frame perfects those, so I don't know why he hesitated here, if he's just not feeling himself today or something, but...
See the boat connect on a Snake King here. I probably didn't think about the whoopee cushion. That's,
sure,
you know.
I'm not saying he thought about that and then missed. I'm just surprised he didn't go for the faster play, because generally speaking, it's better to do it quicker so the enemy team has less TP time, right? You want to do it as fast as possible, make the kill a very quick hit and run, and then get out, but... Anyway, mission failed. For what it's worth, I don't even know if Ducalis would have died if the spear hit, but he would have been very low. Time to give DM some mana. Lovely.
Satanic, he's going to get arena'd, and more TPs are coming for Falcons. Amar a little bit low here, but this 4 members, surely they'll be able to do this. Skeeter shows up. Satanic almost out of mana. Skeeter going to finally get his borrowed time off. There's the box to save Satanic for just a little bit longer. Eventually does fall as crit another kill for him.
If you needed any evidence of how good of a Medusa game this is, that right there should win you over.
Yeah.
That was a 4-on-1 for 15 seconds in the arena, and they barely killed him.
Yeah.
Eventually, sure, he got boxed for a second and a half, but like, come on. Like, that was... If he had ulti, he would have lived. I don't know if they called his bluff and just assumed he doesn't have it skilled, but with a point in Stonegaze, he's fine and dandy there. He's just getting out.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, Medusa cannot be slowed by Demonic Purge. So...
Oh, is that the facet he took?
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. He has Venomous Volley, so he can be slowed down. Yeah, you're right. He does not have Undulation. That would be kind of weird on carry.
Yeah, I was going to say, that one...
That's not usual.
Well, Amar looks like he is going to get X. I thought he was on the outskirts, but brought back. Boat is there. Goodbye, Amar.
Skitter almost walked into the boat AoE. He might have been in trouble too, because he doesn't have ulti ready after that top fight.
All right, Malrine, a point booster away from Ags. So we'll see if Falcons turn up the pressure at that point. The rune is taken by 9 class, and crit looks like he will fall one way or another. Will it be to the creeps? Negative. No one claims it.
Yeah, and similar to game 1, Falcons are off to a pretty good start in their lanes, and then PARIVISION find a way to make a couple of moves with their supports to stabilize the early game and not fall too far behind, and now we are going to be approaching that mid portion of the game pretty soon, where it becomes a bit of a numbers game this type. 3 tanky cores on PARIVISION versus 3 pretty tanky cores as well on Falcons. Who has the damage is kind of a simplified way of looking at this, is who can kill the other team.
Yep.
And it might get a little bit awkward where we have a couple of team fights where almost nobody dies, or maybe one guy, but
well, the support.
That's how it goes, and you get to late game, right?
Support should die here. Coddle can be kind of annoying to deal with, but
yeah,
the other 3.
There's a lot of little things, right? There's disruption and shield on one team. The other team has blinding light and box and rum. You know, even supports can actually be kind of tricky to kill in a game like this when you have that many different tools across the board.
Yeah, right now, no one is leading the net worth in the game as the Kunkka. Medusa not too far behind, but the game is still very, very even. And we are approaching the 14-minute Wisdom into the 15-minute Tormentor.
Both teams are on top of the Wisdom this time.
Yeah, no one has the Blade Mail at the ready.
Yeah, good standard build. Blade Mail Radiance. Obviously, the Medusa will not be buying Radiance from the carry position.
Middle tower is under attack.
So,
Radiant's top tower is under
we get to it on the Kunkka. Have we seen much Bristleback Radiance as an offlaner when there's no other Radiance buyer? I feel like maybe that's something that could be explored a little bit more. I don't think teams seem to favor that very much.
Yeah, not so much.
Like, even if you're playing Snot Rocket, in theory, it could be quite good.
That's a quick Roche here. Falcons at the 14.5-minute mark.
Beastmaster.
They're going to have Aegis going into the Tormentor, so they should have the advantage there.
This is actually really important that they managed to grab this for that exact reason, because in a game that has very little action, the objectives become just that much more important. If there's no other fights happening, you really want to make sure you get the stuff that is worth fighting for. And Falcons with a good setup for that. I wouldn't mind seeing them just going straight for it now, honestly. Like, daring PARIVISION to get down there and fight them before they truly unlock their damage. Like, Medusa doesn't hit hard yet. Bristleback is an offlaner with Snot Rocket, and you have a mid-kunka with just a Blade Mail. Damage is lacking right now for PARIVISION if they were to break out into a full-on fight.
Yep, Arena onto DM. As Malrine shows up with the help of Snay, that'll be the death of the Bristle.
No need to roar.
That's true.
They retain that. Now 9 class running under a ward. He'll get disrupted here.
Oh boy.
Or purged, one or the other. And, well, that's a naive TP to say the least.
Make him use his mana.
Yeah.
Very important. 1,000 away on Skeeter's Radiance as he's going to pick up a kill here. So crit, first time not stealing a kill this game.
I mean, okay, I guess they're taking the tier 1 and then Tormentor, right? They're all leaving the Tormentor area. They absolutely have to get in here.
Yeah, I'd be shocked.
Like this a lot from Amar here. He's going, oh, he changed. Well, I liked it until he changed. Now I like it less. He had his Yules queued up. I actually think it's really good this game. It's a multi-purpose item here. You're able to combo break the Bristol's constant stacking up of goo. You combo break the Kunkka. You can stop him on defensive X-Mark plays from being pulled back. But he decided against it. Wonder why he's opting for the BKB now. As crit will get the shard. This was one I wanted to talk about earlier. The demonic cleanse against Snot Rocket, really nice.
Yeah,
to have. Continuous dispel means a big part of DM's hero is ineffective. You have the offensive dispel of the box, and you have the defensive dispel of the goo, and the defensive dispel of blinding light. I guess if you have demonic cleanse on you, blinding light doesn't even knock you back. I think. Because I think the knockback is dispellable, just like Force Staff is offensively dispellable. So I think you actually can't even blind people while they're being cleansed, if I had to guess. It does the damage, but nothing else, right? That's what I would think it would do.
That's an interesting one. I mean, definitely the blind won't work, but I don't know about the movement. I see what you're saying with the Force Staff, but keep in mind, this was put in before the Force Staff changes.
This is the reason I'm not saying it with full confidence, because this is Dota, and therefore you can't assume anything.
Yeah,
but
no doubt about it. But yeah, that's pretty valuable if all of that works. Which most of it does, of course.
No one trying to delay the push. He's even throwing out the ghost ship, so this is a full-on tower concede. Not interested in fighting into this Aegis, and I think this is a great play call from PARIVISION, recognizing that this is when Falcons are at their strongest. The mindset that PARIVISION have in this game is probably just, we just need it to get late enough. We need to not take bad fights and just buy time. And our Medusa eventually will become a huge problem. You see Satanic in this game. He's opting for the Manta into Maelstrom and then Axe, so he just very quickly wants to get the split shot upgrade on all of his attacks. Don't mind it. I think perhaps you could make a case for getting the Mjolnir first. I think he already committed, right? Yeah, he bought the blade.
Oh, we're going to see the roar come out. Oh, wow. That was quick.
Beastmaster does a lot of damage.
Crit again takes the kill. Is he on a killing spree right now? Or did he die at any point?
He died.
Okay.
He died in between. I think he got 2 kills, died, and then 2 kills again. So.
What a beast.
Never had one.
What a beast. Well, Radiant's on the side of PARIVISION out with the Kunkka, so that'll help no one out quite a bit. As Amar will get off the arena. The boat is there, though. A lot of damage to Amar, but no one... He is outnumbered for the time being, but the illusions of Satanic show up, and no one will be able to walk away. Now the X onto Skeeter. Uses the borrowed time, so will survive a little bit longer. Now the disruption. Right now onto Satanic. As crit, not able to TP out. The whip will cancel it, and it looks like he will be the death that we see after a very long fight where not a whole lot of damage was done.
I'll say it right now. I hope this does not become the meta for the vast majority of the games of this tournament. How many games have we had so far today? 4, right? So this is the 4th game, and I feel like in 3 out of 4 of them, the cores are just so hard to kill, man. It's like, I'm just watching that fight, and they just can't go. Like, Bristleback has a pipe for his Medusa and Kunkka, who are getting Illuminate healed.
Snake King is spotted. Spotlight upon him. He's dead.
It's the supports in this game that feel mortal right now. I think all the cores are super hard to bring down. Probably the least tanky core, isn't it ironic? That's Mars.
Yeah, that is true.
He's the least
is
tanky
true.
core in the game. Oh, man.
If only he had well, I guess it's still the same Ags, but the Ags used to be good, right? On Mars. You used to see Amar like rush that with the soldiers.
Yeah. And then he went that in lifesteal, right? Then he would be really tanky. Satanic with the Ags.
Yeah, that was quite obnoxious.
Didn't they change that so that the Bulwark Ags doesn't use orbs? Wasn't that the change they made? Or am I imagining that?
I don't remember.
I think that's why the build fell off, right?
I think it was nerfed in multiple ways, if I'm not mistaken. Smoke from PARIVISION. Heading to the south, which means Malrine could be in trouble. Not quite done with the BKB yet, so this would hurt quite a bit if he does take a death. He already blinked, but he's X'd up. See Will-O-Wisp, Ignis Fatus placed. And that's going to be an easy cleanup onto Malrine. You can see how little damage he did to DM during that exchange. 3K lead for PARIVISION. And Satanic just about done with his Aghanim Scepter, so the Mystic Snake will be quite good.
Nope. That's the split shot modifiers.
Oh, that's right. They changed it.
Yeah.
True.
Fortunately for you, I did mention that earlier.
I don't listen to anything you say, as
That's
you know.
fair. I just wanted to spell it out.
It's funny how they just keep changing these talents, and they turn it into Ags and shards, and
Yeah.
you see how valuable they are. It's like, oh, that was worth 4,200 gold. All right.
True. It's like,
Good to know.
Oh, that was pretty good, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty obvious that that was one of the best 25 talents in the entire game, right?
Yeah.
We would always highlight when Medusa got the split shot talent.
Almost like a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, that's going to be his new Ags, isn't it? Ironwood Tree.
So you can get it earlier. Yeah, that sounds good.
If you have to pay for it, honestly, and then you tweak the numbers a little bit, I would mind it way less.
Well, you'd have to tweak the numbers is the big thing. It's demonic card doesn't call us, but Ignis Fatus going to be kind of annoying to deal with. Ignis wins this battle again. Malrine, Arcane Rune. He's going to get X for his trouble, though. Has a little bit of reinforcements coming. But the Wheel of Wonder place. He has been stun locked for a long time. Crit with a nice disruption. For once not trying to steal a kill. But Malrine still will fall nonetheless. And Crit, TP out, successful. But the core is lost already for Falcons. 5K lead for PARIVISION. And this is feeling pretty hard for Falcons right now.
I am struggling to see how they kill heroes. That's my very in-depth analysis
It feels
of
like
this situation.
the Beastmaster at this point needed to be more snowbally.
Yeah.
He's gotten a couple of kills since the Ags, but just hasn't been nearly enough. Skeeter is spotted and slow. He has nobody close to him, but it is an Abaddon at the end of the day.
X-Mark is almost in range.
That DM is a bristleback, so he can dive pretty damn deep. TPs are coming. There's the Mars Arena. Spotlight applied as well. DM, he's in a lot of trouble. He's going to get boxed up for the time being. Will he survive? He might actually. Gorgon's Grasp not really going to connect here. As the disruption onto the high ground, DM is actually walking off all of this damage. He is fine. Meanwhile, no one isolated. Has the blade mail up, but is he the one that's scared? I don't think so. He's going to continue to fight as the rest of his team comes in to reinforce. Snake King dead. Amar with the newly picked up BKB, trying to apply some pressure here. No one. Finally will get taken out. It's going to be the cost of 2 supports and make it a carry Abaddon as well as the Beastmaster. 4 dead for Falcons. They do get a couple of core kills in PARIVISION, but still, fight 1 as Satanic gets a good old-fashioned ultra kill. Wants the rampage, but doesn't look like that's to be.
Top tower has fallen.
A Marcom Rampage. Negative.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, here's Satanic. All right, he's not here anymore. He's going back. Oh, well. I thought he was going to hit the high ground a little bit longer, but, you know, he's having fun. He'll chill and keep farming up.
Top tower is under
Scaling
attack.
even further. He's currently 7,000 ahead of the enemy carry. 200 additional CS will do that.
Yeah, when you see a Medusa with a 6K net worth lead on the closest member of the opposing team at 24 minutes.
You're in trouble.
Things are not looking good.
You're in very big trouble here for Falcons. And I wish I could give you some sort of like, okay, this is the dream fight. This is exactly what they need to do. But I genuinely am at a bit of a loss for ideas except jump the support. That's honestly the only way I can imagine Falcons winning a fight. And I don't have any sort of, okay, if you stall the game for 10 or 15 minutes and you get to this item timing, I see a different outlook on the game. So I genuinely think that it's kind of a catch-22 here where you kind of have to go, but you don't want to. That would be my overall opinion here. You got to find the Coddle. You got to kill him off so he doesn't spam heal the Medusa, spam heal everyone with Illuminate.
Great replay. Really important to see that. Was there something on the courier? Is that just one of the few highlights for Falcons, maybe?
All right, they're going to force the issue here.
Yeah, they have to get something
Grabbing
out
the
of this.
smoke. Going to
Will
run
lead the
straight
way
up the high ground here.
Their kill leader will lead the way. Onto the high ground they go, but Will-O-Wisp to counteract this, and Malrine and company have to try to run away. Although, Bucalis does tumble to Skeeter. Now Satanic, he is fearsome at the moment. X, not the disruption to counteract it, but Gorgon's Grasp, not quite connecting, but the tidal wave. Skeeter's just getting bounced around left, right, and center. Finally, the borrowed time is there, but he's not going to get a whole lot of HP after the fact. And that is a dead position 1 Abby again. And there's the Arena. Wow, he had Arena this whole time. And it's going to be used in the defensive measure as Amar tries to run away, but it is inevitable he will fall. So 3 kills for PARIVISION, and this is snowballing out of control.
You cannot open the fight like that for Falcons. That's a pretty disappointing jump there from Malrine. He just blinks in and roars Medusa. That is a 0% chance play. They do get Ducalis because they managed to isolate him with the Abaddon off on the side, but if you want to blink roar anybody, it's got to be the Coddle. Like, jumping on Medusa is actually just... It's not only a bad roar for you offensively, it's also a bad roar for you defensively, because you can't stand there either. So you're effectively putting your fight in a bad position rather than not taking it at all. So that was kind of the worst attack angle I think Falcons could have found there. So considering that, at the very least, it didn't go worse than it did. Snake with the TP out.
Oh, that was close. Yeah, being able to recall, pretty damn incredible as a support.
It's honestly kind of crazy that Coddle is 9th pick this game. I think this hero is super powerful.
Yeah.
And especially when you consider what heroes were picked earlier in the draft, right? You had a first pick Bristleback on PARIVISION, and then it still gets left in the pool. You have a Kunkka, you have a Medusa, and it still gets left in the pool. It felt like Falcons forgot about it, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's making PARIVISION's game feel very smooth and easy right now.
Yeah, Roshan's banner used as well as they can try to farm a bit in the enemy base. Snake King will survive, but the buildings won't survive for too much longer. Tier 3 taken, and I just don't see a way for Falcons to fight back right now.
They can't kill Satanic once, so now that he has Aegis, honestly, I don't even know if he should have taken it. I think I'd almost rather have seen it on the Kunkka. Disruption,
you can make
but
that
tidal
argument.
wave.
Tidal wave onto Crypt, but the Aphotic Shield to get out of dodge. Fortification already used, so this lane is gone, although you can see Amar using his ult. He's all alone, although Malrine comes to play as well, and they're able to take out the Coddle. But can they get more? And now Scotty is delivered to Satanic. And with that Aghanim Scepter, able to take full advantage now. As Skeeter, despite being at a number disadvantage for PARIVISION, they are not scared at all. Roar applied to Kunkka, but there's the box to save him. TP, or the buyback from the Coddle now, as Malrine stuck in a horrible spot. The Wheel of Wonder destroying BKB's pop galore as Amar TP X. Oh, that was close though. But a lot has been expended for Falcons, and now their base will continue to fall because Satanic still has the Aegis, still has no way to really die.
And Malrine just seems desperate as well, right? He once again just blink roars a core, and there's no follow-up, and there's no way of killing that hero to begin with. So it's just they just don't have solutions. It's a really straightforward game for PARIVISION if things don't go better for Falcons early, and we're seeing it step by step here, just how beautifully crafted this lineup is on the Dire and the way it interacts with Falcons. Just beautiful. PARIVISION are not challenged at all in this game.
Well, they can't go for Megas because of the tier 2, but they can just
don't
finish the game. They feel very confident right now. Still 2 minutes on this Aegis. It's not like it's even close to expiring. The Will-O-Wisp used just in case somebody wants to jump in. Snake King trying to keep them at bay, but there's only so much a CM can do when you're down 15k at 30 minutes. One tier 4 down. Second will fall shortly after, surely. And there's the jump in. Malrine with the roar onto the Kunkka. Do they have the save? Do they even need it? The arena is used. They take him out, but that's a buyback now for no one. And now what can Falcons do? Amar and company just being destroyed in their own base. Crit is dead. Snake King follows suit. No supports left for Falcons. And soon, no cores as GGs are called. PARIVISION 2-0 really easily.
Yeah.
This game, too, was somehow even cleaner than the first.
Yeah.
After the landing stage.
I mean, I honestly, I absolutely love their